He blew out a long sigh. Guilt and too much champagne. Both self-inflicted. She didn't have anything to feel guilty about. Burl had crashed his airplane, and she couldn't help it if her life was better without him. Holly tiptoed around the shards of glass and retrieved one of her stilettos. The room tilted as she tried to balance on one foot to slip on her shoe. Rhett peeked from under the antique settee. "Guess I scared you to death when I dropped that glass." She scooped him up and rubbed his head, then sat him down a safe distance from the glass. "You didn't see a thing, did you, boy?" She scanned the room for her other shoe, then eyed Rhett. "Where is it?" He wagged his entire backside, as though he had nothing to hide. "Just like a man." The opened bottle of Brut chilling in the ice bucket was too expensive to waste. She poured another glass of champagne and downed it, hoping for a good night's sleep. Since she had no guests, she'd have the luxury of sleeping until 8 o'clock. Carrying the champagne bucket, she hobbled on one shoe to the kitchen. Then she armed herself with the dustbuster and a fire extinguisher to clean up her mess. Even tipsy, she considered the possibility of the ancient damper closing in the middle of the night, filling the place with smoke, or burning down her home and business. Luck had never sided with Holly. When she returned to the parlor, the logs above the ashes had caught fire. The charcoal scent of the old fireplace floated through the room. Focusing on the tiny shards of glass challenged her alcohol-impaired vision, but she vacuumed anyway. She didn't want to chance Rhett stepping on a sliver of glass. Besides, the Delta Ridge Bridge Club had rented the parlor for 9 o'clock in the morning for their weekly game. She couldn't have broken glass on the floor. Holly tossed the dustbuster on the settee, then picked up the fire extinguisher. She couldn't trust the damper to stay open. One spark and the fire could ignite again while she slept. She'd never used a fire extinguisher before, and reading the label was out of the question tonight. Holly closed one eye and aimed the fire extinguisher toward the flames. Swaying, she squeezed the trigger, and a wide spray of white foam gushed onto the hardwood floor. She tilted the nozzle upward and lost her balance, sending the spray up the 15-foot wall to the carved crown molding. A Casper the Friendly Ghost version of Burl, coated in white foam, stood before her. She dropped the fire extinguisher and dashed to the kitchen like a peg-legged pirate. She grabbed the bottle of champagne off the counter and poured it down the drain. "I swear, God, if you'll get Burl out of my parlor, I'll never drink another drop," she said, with as much sincerity as she could pump into her plea to God, since she hadn't talked to him lately. She glanced over her shoulder. Rhett scooted backward into the kitchen and barked all the way. "What I wouldn't give for a drink right now. And there you go, pouring my best bottle down the drain." Holly spun around to the powdery face of Burl Davis smiling at her. She strangled the neck of the empty bottle and wagged it at the apparition. "You're not here. You're dead. I buried you 3 months ago." "Yeah, I'm dead. You buried me. But I am here." He opened his arms as though she'd rushed to hug him. "No!" She shook her head. "I don't see dead people. Bruce Willis sees dead people. My guests see dead people." She slammed the bottle into the trash. "I'm just drunk, and you're my pink elephant." "Afraid not, Blondie," he shrugged. "Besides, Bruce was dead. The kid saw dead people." Holly rolled her eyes and hiccuped. "Whatever." She hated it when he called her Blondie. "In the morning, I'll have a hangover, and you'll be gone." "Not likely." Stepping from high heel to bare foot in an awkward up-and-down motion that made her dizzy, she backed out of the kitchen. "Definitely," she said, with as much diction as her thick tongue would allow. He matched her step for step through the entrance hall. "I'm telling you, I'm not going anywhere." Old anger bubbled up from the pit of her stomach. "You always have to win, don't you?" "I don't want to argue." "That's a first." Their entire marriage had been a debate. Burl laughed. "Oh, first time I've been dead." "That's right. You're dead. Now,